What's good, everyone? You're listening to On Our Level with Sam and David, talking all things casual drinking, gaming, media and entertainment. Well, I'm sure some of you might be seeing us on YouTube for the first time, which is a first. So, hi, how's it going? I'm Sam.
Yeah, this is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird. But we are going to be on YouTube. We'll make sure to leave the handle in the description on all of our podcast services as well. So you come check us out and put a face to the name. But anyway, other than that, we'll put that aside, make a quick entrance with that. Do you want to tell me what drink you're having today, David?
Yeah, I thought, seeing as it's our first one that we're showing our faces and like putting face to a name, that I would go a bit out and make myself a little espresso martini.
Nice. Can't go wrong. Is that a homemade one?
It is a homemade one, because I know you had one a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, the pre-made stuff. So I thought, I've had some vodka, had some Kahlua, got a little espresso machine, so I thought I might as well actually, make one. I've made them like quite a lot in the past, but it's been a while, so I hope it holds up. I'm nervous about this one. I haven't actually had it in a long time. But what are you having today?
So I've gone for a new one, actually. I recently moved into a new job. I got a lot of gifts from family and relatives. So I've gone for something my mother has passed on to me as a result of it, which is, I think, something you've had before, which is the Glenfiddich 12
Very
years.
nice.
On screen for those who are watching. The single malt Scotch whiskey. I know you liked it, and I've had it in a pub before, or after a meal before. So yeah, I'm quite excited. I know they're renowned for some of their whiskey. They've got a variety of different bottles, so we'll give this one a shot. I have had a sip. It's pretty good.
Nice.
But I'll give you the full rundown at the end.
That was the 12 year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Because I think they do a 15 and an 18
yeah,
one
they
as
do.
well.
Yeah, I had like a selection box where it's got like all. I think there's just 3 of them. Yeah, 12, 15, 18. But,
I remember now.
That's nice.
Yeah, one of our earlier episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. That's our drinks for today. Love an espresso martini. Can't go wrong with them. Today we are on episode number 20. I can't believe we're this far down the line. I know, crazy.
Mental.
Nice round number to start off the YouTube stuff. And actually we thought we'd pick a game that we played a lot of over the past, I think it was 2017 that it came out.
I think it was,
It's been massive since. Huge on Twitch. Renowned for its World Cup event that happened, I think, a few years back. Getting a lot of people through lockdown with some of their variety of different game modes they've added recently. Yes, of course, we're talking about the Battle Royale Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
It was a huge game for us. It was one of the first Battle Royales that came to console, I think, after PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and that was the one that was kind of taking the world by storm at the time. And when this game came out, and it was instantly released for Fortnite, and it ran pretty smoothly, and I think that's one thing PUBG did have against it on its initial release for console.
It was just super buggy.
It was, and the rendering was poor. And I don't think the hardware was up for the task of some of the battle royales, the sizes of the maps and the number of players on the maps themselves as well. But Fortnite came in, it was fresh, it was free, which we'll get onto later, which is I think one of the reasons it was a massive success. But just breaking down the game initially, and now some people may not know, but Fortnite consists of the 3 elements. The first of which is the main game itself, which was a paid element that some people I know did at the start. It was called Save the World. It was a cooperative hybrid tower defense shooter survival game for 4 players to fight off zombie-like creatures, which have actually been implemented into Fortnite since in a variety of kind of events and seasons. The most popular section of the game, of course, is the Battle Royale, in which 100 players fight to be the winner. And the most recent addition I would consider to be the Fortnite Creative or Party Royale / Creative section, which is effectively a sandbox that gives players all the range to create their own arenas, game modes, and there's some really good ones on there.
Did you ever play the Save the World aspect of Fortnite?
I never paid for it. Do you know, I heard that it was going to be for free at some point.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I think it was a couple of years ago, I think. And we were talking about the fact that we both never played it. And then I remember you saying, oh yeah, it's going to be free like next month. And I don't think it ever did.
No, I don't know what happened to it, because I remember reading several articles and I think the intention was to eventually make it free.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be honest with you, I don't see why they can't. When I talk to you about the numbers that they made on the game when it was first released, it was crazy. I mean, I'm talking, where was it? I think in its first year, it drew more than 125 million players.
Oh my God.
And it earned hundreds of millions of dollars a month. And I think $9 billion in revenue in the first 2 years.
God.
So that's one to take in. And I don't know why they can't make the Save the World element free if that's how much they're raking in.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they've just left it now. Like it kind of served its purpose. I feel like the Save the World part was kind of a demo for what Fortnite could be, because it had all of the aspects. Like, well, I think it had all the aspects because I've never actually played it, but it had all the building stuff, and as you said, it was the tower defense side of it. But yeah, I feel like they can just leave it, because people know Fortnite. People don't know Fortnite as that Save the World aspect. They know it as this battle royale with loads of people on a map. So I feel like it served its purpose. I might pick it up at some point. Depends how expensive it is. But yeah.
I was reading actually that the Save the World was the alpha beta release of the game that was there to make the funds to develop things. But actually, Epic Games had seen how big PlayerUnknown Battleground had become and were like, why can't we make a battle royale? And I think I was reading somewhere that within 2 months they created a map and put a battle royale version of it out, which is interesting. I don't think it was ever the intention for them to do it, but by God, it's really... I mean, it's made Epic Games who they are now.
Yeah, that's clever, because it's kind of like all of the mechanics were there already, right, for the Save the World. They had all the building, all the like the character models and stuff like that. So all they needed to do was just get a big old map, get some 3D artists, create a big old map, and just chuck a load of players at it. So yeah, it worked well. Like, it's done Fortnite really, really well. So
yeah. And we'll talk more about the elements that have made it really successful later on. But let's start by talking about our initial experience playing the game. So I remember being 2017. Sorry, we've recently finished university, and I recall seeing a video on YouTube of somebody playing it. It was a new battle royale, and which wasn't really out of the ordinary. But what was out of the ordinary was that it was released on console. And for console gamers, like I said previously, it's massive, because other than that bumpy release of PUBG, I can't think of any battle royales that were released on console around that time. No. And also, it was completely free. In my eyes, this game really was the beginning of the free-to-play boom that kind of snowballed into effect after this game. And it was our first opportunity to play a battle royale without kind of really spending any money on a console.
Yeah, and I feel like that's how... Obviously, that's going to get the most amount of players in, right? Like, you have a free game, why not go and play it? It was kind of like what we've spoken about with the new eFootball. Like, the fact that it's a not so great version of FIFA, but it's free, you're just going to go and give it a go, even if it's not great. So I feel like free-to-play games, they do very well in terms of getting new players on. But what Fortnite have done in terms of keeping that player base, like coming back and playing the game, which we'll go into a bit later, it's just I think they did very well in terms of they were very clever about their marketing for it as well, because, like, as you said, it was the very first battle royale, well, not the very first one that kind of drew our attention to it, because, as you said, PUBG wasn't great in terms of graphics and how quick it ran and stuff, but yeah, this one was just another level, really.
They got it right because they kept the artwork right for all age groups as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I think is a big thing, especially for parents. Like, I mean, I know it's still a shooter game and it's a battle royale and it's a last person wins, but I mean, that alongside some of the, I'd say it's not as realistic, more cartoony, a little bit more jokey, I think really draws that younger kind of element in.
It's and for those cartoony, isn't it? It's that cartoony kind of like almost cel-shaded look where it's just like, it's not super realistic, but it's kind of halfway there. Yeah.
And for those who don't know, we went into depth about this a little bit more on our Battle Royale episode, so please jump back and take a listen to that and have a little bit more of what we spoke about in terms of Fortnite there, because we'll try not to cover or go over things twice, and that is one of the things we talked about, and the kind of the way they managed to re-encapsulate and get people really involved in the game long term across all age groups. But I mean, some of the things that they do really well, I mean, what Fortnite have done and smashed out of the park better than any other company, and maybe the first in my eyes that added a loose narrative that's kind of exhibited throughout map changes season by season, which I think is amazing.
I think that's clever.
It's so cool. And over time, as they've made more of a thing out of it and they've realised people actually really like that, and they've kind of, rather than just the game of Battle Royale, there's something else, the reason to play the game. There's a little bit of a story. There's some challenges that get you to a certain point in the storyline. And I remember there even be a situation where one of the live events was you get to, whoever pickaxes the gun or item first, that's the one that came back into the game. And I think interactive things like that with the audience is massive, like massive.
Yeah, that's a good point you've raised about that, because you see that so much more in games these days. So like Apex Legends, Call of Duty, they all now have this kind of like subtle backstory behind all of the different seasons. Like they tie each season together with this backstory and narrative. And I'm pretty sure that Fortnite was like the first Battle Royale to even do that. But yeah, it brings me back each season. Like I keep saying I'm never going to play it again, but then it's like, oh yeah, that might be quite cool. And then I just see the end of season kind of cutscene. I'm like, yep, I'm going to play next season.
And it's good because it ropes you in, because those new seasons, they then tie in new cosmetic skins that are related to what's happened.
Yeah.
Might be related to kind of superheroes or supervillains, which we'll touch on later, that were available in that month. I mean, Epic really had the ability to create custom events that occur across all servers, I think, simultaneously across all platforms, which was, I think, the first example of such was a countdown leading to the giant rocket launch in June 2018. I think it was probably one of the first ones that I think we both got involved in together.
Yeah,
and in the aftermath, it kind of left cracks in the sky that grew on that event and then led to something else. And I like that. I like the little things in the environment that change, even the ones that are outside of the borders of the map, that you're kind of thinking about, how's that changing?
What's that?
I also remember the shooting star that got closer over a period of time, which was also another kind of indicator.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's clever. As you said, it ties the different seasons together, and the fact they've got these little things that you kind of notice. Like, we played this morning just as a kind of like research into what we're going to actually talk about today. And I remember you saying, what's that? Like, there's this massive like UFO that has crashed in the sea, and you haven't played for like 2 seasons. So I was explaining what's happened in the last 2 seasons. I was like, oh yeah, there was this massive UFO in the sky and it kind of exploded and like it just crashed into the sea, and there's all this stuff going around now, all these cubes everywhere. But yeah, it's something extra rather than just 100 people in a lobby. Yeah. It just ties all together.
There's so much more than just that Battle Royale map as well now. Because
Yeah.
I know they added things like fishing, like things you kind of see in things like Animal Crossing, and animals are now kind of running wild in the world. But going across to the kind of creative, as well as those live events that incorporate the storyline that they want to portray throughout the whole time there. I remember one of the early events that we went to as well, where they started incorporating live music events. The first of which I think was Marshmello, which was a Marshmello concert that, if I could be completely wrong, but I think it was held in Pleasant Park, and it was utilised there for I think quite a while. So the first one I remember attending, and I know they've done a lot more since, but it was almost like it's kind of the start of the metaverse as such. Like I think those kind of things have really give the platform to. They set the scene for that kind of stuff, because I know a lot of the people in them might have been kids or our kind of age, or I'm sure there was a wide range, but especially during the pandemic, being able to do stuff like that was there, you don't feel left out. It was just a really interesting concept, and they had him on the microphone on the other end, I think, live.
It was because I remember. I think it was Pleasant. I remember being there with you and like chatting on the mic. And then Marshmello would just be talking to us. He was like, hey guys, at Pleasant Park. And I was like, whoa, this is just so weird. Because I know they've also had, I think it was Travis Scott. His one was really cool. And one that I've actually watched recently was, it wasn't kind of the same thing where they get like the avatar of the artist in there. Like I know they did, Travis Scott and Ariana Grande was a recent one as well. But one that happened during the pandemic was Easy Life, and it was basically an environment of the O2. So you'd kind of like go through the main doors of the O2, and it would put you in a lobby of like, I think it was maybe 20 people, and it would be a set list of Easy Life. Like you'd listen to different tracks that they'd do live, and the environment would change, and you'd go through these different kind of like doors to different environments, and each track would be different. It was a really cool way of using Fortnite, but not for the battle royale side of it. And like meeting up, like, because I can understand that would be really cool, meeting up with like friends who you haven't seen in ages and just doing something that's not like shooting each other. But yeah, I think it's a very, very, very clever way of utilizing the whole like environment so it's not just a battle royale.
Yeah, and they've made the game Fortnite so much more than that battle royale now, and those little things. I know they did things. I think Deadmau5 did a set. I'm pretty certain Steve Aoki was in there and a couple of others, but they didn't do a concert. They had a party island or a party royale, I think they called it, which they had a timeline for people to play things, and they did. I'm pretty certain that was over lockdown. They did it specifically for lockdown around that time, which is great. And I know another thing they've used that party royale mode for was. Quite a big one that I was quite a fan of, to be fair. They did a collaboration with Christopher Nolan. So Epic Met Games combined with Warner Brothers Studios and showed a first exclusive viewing of the Tenet trailer on their party royale island. And in addition to that, I think soon afterwards they announced that they would stream the films Inception, Batman Begins and The Prestige as part of its movie night.
That's cool.
Another way that they could utilise that platform, and they've done it so well, really well. I'm not sure if that party island's still a thing or not.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, because I know, as you said, there's 3 different sections of Fortnite, which is the Save the World, Battle Royale, and the creative. I haven't touched the creative side of it in a long, long time, so I don't know if that's still around. Because I remember when they had I think it was the cinema screen at, was it Risky Reels or something? Showed a couple different things now and again, but I haven't seen that party island in a long time, so I don't know if that's still around.
I'm not sure if it is, but I know there's a lot of other things, but it's along with those events come the skins for people, and I mean it leads us quite nicely onto that topic. You got skins for Travis. I'm pretty certain Travis is in there. I'm pretty certain Marshmallow's in there. I'm not sure if Ariana Grande is, but also some of the other collaborations.
She's a character in it as well now, so like you'll see her in the actual map. So I think it was last season they introduced, or a couple seasons ago, they introduced actual characters in the game world that you talk to, and they'd give you challenges and stuff like that. So, yeah, she's in there now as well, Ariana Grande. She's bloody going everywhere.
It's a good thing. The skins for them was massive, because they are one of the main revenues. Some of them are incredible. I know they've done a lot of collaborations such with the likes of Marvel, and I think there was a more recent one. They did some with Rocket League, where you did a collaboration. You could get different things on each platform.
Yeah,
they've done really well with that, and I think that drags in people from different games and different platforms to give it a go and a reason to play it. They're not just in-game purchases as well. Some of them come through challenges. Some of them come through battle passes, and there's also a lot of different variations of them. But I'd say a lot of the key ones they leave for the store. And I couldn't tell you the prices of some of them, but they must make a fair bit. There
are the odd one or two that appear in the battle pass. So obviously the battle pass, for people who don't know, it's like 0 to 100 levels, and the more XP you get and the more challenges you do, you progress through this battle pass. So I know last season I completed the battle pass because of the skins at the very end. They did a collaboration with Rick and Morty, which is what dragged me back into playing Fortnite, because I was like, I'm never playing it. I'm not going to play it again. I need to stop. And then they showed it was Rick and Morty, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I might as well play it again. I'm back. I'm back in. But I know this season they've had more stuff with Marvel. So the best skin at the very end, it's Carnage from Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. But yeah, they've got a couple little ones in the Battle Pass, but as you said, they save the best ones for the store. So I know there was Master Chief from Halo, which was a huge one. There was like Lara Croft. I know there was also very recently, they've just added stuff from Resident Evil as well.
Yeah, makes sense with the Halloween kind of time,
Halloween
doesn't it?
stuff, yeah. But yeah, it's very clever how they kind of they separate it out. They leave the best stuff for the paid, you have to buy it, it's very clever. but
And it's not just the skins. There's the emotes.
Yeah.
There's there's lots of other things. I mean, they started chucking some people's songs in there, the way you do, and you can get people to come over and interact with you. You can interact with each other as part of an emote on the game, and they've really taken that part of it by storm. And they even incorporated, I think we spoke about in the other episode, but they did dance competition for people that play it, which I thought was cool, and a couple of them ended up being
I remember
part of them.
that being around. I had no idea what was going on, because they also had like a costume contest or something where you'd have your avatar and you have different, you'd set a skin, a back bling, and traversal stuff, and it was the person who had, like, I don't know, the coolest, like, combination of
the fashion shows.
The fashion show, that was it. And I was like, what is going on? Like,
that was a big thing.
That was a
I remember
huge
seeing
thing.
so many videos on it, and it was like people would genuinely make up outfits with a combined amount of 2 emotes, and somebody would judge them on YouTube.
So strange, but like it's made Fortnite that more like inclusive, where it's not just shooting people on an island. It's like different things you can do. But, yeah, odd.
And I think it's funny, I remember you mentioning the marketing campaign, and another reason I think it did so well is I remember on Twitch at the time, there were millions of people playing it and watching it on the platform, and I'd never seen numbers on Twitch like I had when Fortnite came out. And I think the likes of kind of Ninja, Tfue, lots of other people really picking it up, and it was huge, like huge. You can't underestimate, or I can't put into words how big this game was. I don't think the marketing campaign was huge.
No.
I think, again, they targeted a few streamers. It suddenly became fun and entertaining. I mean, the other thing was the competitive scene. So I remember I think we watched a bit of the Fortnite World Cup.
Yeah.
Which is the first kind of time I'd ever watched something competitively properly and felt like involved in it. I think I watched it from home, and I think Booger ended up winning it. But the competitive side of the game is so interesting, with the boxing and the building mechanic alongside the shooting. Like, some of these kids have reaction times like, it's crazy, and their fingers go like wildfire. It's unbelievable.
It's when that stuff happens to me in a game, I give up.
Out. Yeah,
I'm out. As soon as they hear a noise and they're suddenly like 3 feet in the air, they've just boxed all the way up. I'm like, I just can't be asked. Just get me. I'm just out. I can't handle it. I can't keep up with it. But because I remember the World Championships?
World Cup. It was
World
Fortnite
Cup,
World Cup.
Yeah. Because I remember being on mic with you and just watching it, and then they'd have like intermissions each time. I was like, I'm gonna go get a drink, and then we'll just come back and just watch these guys play Fortnite. It was so strange, but it was, again, I think it was my first like experience of like competitive gaming, because I know competitive like esports have been around for years, like especially with like League of Legends and all that kind of stuff. But this is the first time I'd ever experienced like actual World Cup, kind of like people winning big money in these games. It was very cool.
It was huge,
yeah,
and it was fun to watch. I think a standard battle royale is one of the more entertaining ones to watch anyway. But the box mechanism and watching the rate at which people edit and build and edit and then exchange gunfire, it's crazy.
Yeah, and
I just literally can't take my eyes off it. It's just so good. It's one of them. It's almost as entertaining as some of the strategy games and things like, I don't know. It's kind of on par with that, because it's so tactical and strategic, the way you have to box up and move, and also collect mats and then use your heals at the right time. And the ever closing circle. It just the whole thing combined makes for a really good watch.
Yeah. It's I don't know what else to say on that. It's literally It's just if Fortnite didn't have like the building mechanics, it would just be another run and gun shooter.
Yeah.
So the fact they added that, it's because I remember at the start, didn't you say they didn't even have that building mechanics on the first? I think it was the first like month or two or something.
I think they did, but nobody was like, "Oh, we'll use it,"
right?
Because everyone was so used to the battle royales previous and not having this extra mechanic, and everybody used to throw out the odd wall. And then when people started to throw out the odd wall, they were like, "Oh, this is actually really useful," and people would do it all the time. Suddenly, people were like, "Actually, you can ramp really quickly and then get over the top of somebody." And I just remember the first month or year, the rate at which the gameplay changed up to the point where it was that box v box fight. It was just interesting to watch the evolution of the game. Yeah. It really was. But yeah, the competitive side again was a big bring in for some of the kids, because I think some of the winners and people on there were 14, 13.
Imagine
Crazy.
winning that kind of money when you're like 14.
Life changer.
Yeah.
Absolute life changer. But I mean, we'll get on to the last few bits about the game that we did really like, and we're talking things like creative and anything else that doesn't fall under the brackets we've spoken of before. So the additional game modes, the limited time modes, that I think some of them would, I'd say, fall under the Party Royale stuff, but there was things, they had their own version of Among Us in there for a short period of time. Never played it properly because I feel like it's something you need a microphone for and a big party to play. Yeah. It's the only issue with that kind of games. So I never gave it a shot myself, which is a shame.
Yeah, I did. I played maybe a couple games, and you're right, it's like if you don't have people who you're actually playing with and a mic, they did add because obviously you've got like emotes and stuff like that in Fortnite.
Had it pointing, didn't they?
They had pointing. It was just like people just stood around like it was him. But yeah, they had all that kind of stuff, but it's not the same. Like all these different games like Among Us and stuff like that. When you're watching videos of it, it's entertaining because of the people who are playing it and the personalities of people who actually play it. But when you're just playing with random people who don't use a mic and who aren't like emoting and stuff like that, it's just kind of random. So it wasn't the kind of experience that you were expecting in terms of like Among Us with it. But they've had loads of others. Like I know they've had the kind of death run stuff where it's like point A to B and you've got to
that was fun basically. And infuriating.
Yeah.
I think the only other game where I've seen that played with is GTA 5 and possibly Gary's mod. But
oh my god, Gary's mod! Yeah,
I remember giving that a go with you, and that really drove me up the wall. I know they had Team Rumble as well, because there was a period where it dipped ever so slightly as people were getting bored of the Battle Royale. And the Team Rumble kind of saved that a bit. It gave you something to warm up with. You had the respawn and it wasn't your kind of standard Battle Royale, which was good. I think they have more, looking at the catalogue today, they've got a lot of different survival modes, 1v6s. I think they added Prop Hunt as well at one point. I could be wrong.
They did. There's loads. There's literally loads of different game modes, and a lot of them are player-created content.
Yeah,
because I know, especially on the creative, I think it was called the Creative Island or something. There were different doors that you could go through that would be like different player-created content. But there's loads. There was, as I said, as you said, the Team Rumble stuff, and I know there's one at the moment which is to do with the Fortnitemares, which is like the spooky season stuff, Halloween stuff. But I just jump in and just play Battle Royale. Like, just it's easy to just get into.
There's challenges for you as well, isn't it?
Oh, mate, don't talk about challenges. As literally the challenges and the battle pass is what gets me back each time. But to get through the battle pass, you need to play the challenges. So it's like whenever we play a game, it's like, oh yeah, let's land here.
Vicious circle.
Maybe let's land here because I need to do a challenge there or something. But yeah, I'm a sucker for challenges.
Yeah. It's a good game, and that vicious circle is another reason why people are kind of stuck, and they feel like they're stuck, and they always have to go back. I know there was something you mentioned about the there was a couple of lawsuits I know between Apple. I think Google had one, but I don't know too much about it. I think you're more clued up on the Apple one.
Yeah, I don't know all the details about it, but I remember there was a huge lawsuit with Fortnite and Epic Games, who create Fortnite, and Apple, and it was basically something to do with the fact that Epic didn't like the fact that Apple would take a percentage cut from in-game in Fortnite, their marketplace where you exchange currency for skins and stuff like that. I think Apple were basically taking a percentage cut from those transactions, and they were like, well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to give you that. So Apple were like, well, we're going to take you off the App Store. And to this day, I believe that they're still not on the App Store. I know it. Yeah, I know it was. Well, I think it was resolved a couple of weeks ago. I think, and Epic actually. Well, I think they won the lawsuit against Apple, but Apple have still not allowed them to be on the App Store, which is a shame because Fortnite on your phone, because I play it on my Switch sometimes just for portability. But on your phone, I reckon it'd be quite cool. Because I know it was on there, but they took it off. But yeah, that was a whole ordeal. I remember in Fortnite they had a cutscene that it was basically taking the mick out of Apple, and kind of explain.
Really?
Yeah, they were like explaining the lawsuit to the players, and it was meant to be like Steve Jobs on a big old school CRT monitor or something, but it was a big guy with an apple for a head in a suit, basically talking like a what is it? Like a government official being like, "Rah, you do this, blah blah blah," and then a Fortnite character comes around and just throws their pickaxe at it, and it was like, "Fortnite is being sued by Apple, blah 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 blah." I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah,
That's funny.
I think it was resolved recently. I think you could actually get that skin as well of like Steve Jobs, but it was just a whole weird situation. And I
have to look that up. That's funny.
I think it's been
funny.
resolved now, but yeah, they're still not on the App Store, unfortunately.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. Because that's a massive platform, and I did see some kids playing it on tablets.
Yeah,
because
I think it's on Google Play. I think it's on the Android
it's still
store.
there.
Yeah,
I think it's still on Android. And I know they had a problem with Google for a short time, but I think they with Epic Games for a short time, but I think they sorted it out. The only other controversy I can think of was the controversy. I thought it was quite interesting, but when they put the black hole event in at the end of Chapter 1, and we shut the game off effectively for like 2-3. I think it might have even been up to a week.
It was a long time, and it was that scheduled downtime between seasons. But if you don't know what's going on, when you boot up Fortnite, it just shows a black screen with kind of like I think it was like a black hole in the distance.
Just a point, yeah.
And people had no idea what was going on, and I think people just started losing it at the fact that I can't play Fortnite. What's going on?
Because it was still big at the time. It was massive, and it's all a lot of people have played, and they were like they were literally floundering. They just had no idea what to do.
Like,
what to
I want to play my favorite game. Why won't you let me play? And it's like like if they knew that, because now they say, oh, it's going to be down from this period of time to this period of time because they need to do season updates.
But they incorporated that as part of an event, which I thought was cool.
Did, which is very cool.
They did keep it under locks, which again, I just thought was another. Some people hated it. I thought it was quite an interesting way to do.
I thought it was really clever because, as you said, it's the kind of transition from season to season, and having those kind of different cutscenes and different like events that happen, it just kind of ties it all together. I think I thought it was very clever, but people were losing their minds about it. They're like, I want to play.
They really were. But, I mean, I think that's it in terms of controversy. I don't think there's anything else you want to put out there, because I know we've talked about a lot of it on our previous Battle Royale episode.
Yeah, I don't know. As you said, we've talked about it a lot. I know another thing that has happened recently is the whole, obviously it's Halloween. So every year on Halloween, Fortnite do their like Fortnitemares stuff. And especially on this season, they've added a thing called the Sideways, which is like Stranger Things upside down world in Fortnite, and there's like different monsters and stuff, but it's just another excuse for them to sell skins and do challenges and stuff like that. But that's kind of it really. We've spoken about Fortnite before, and you guys know that we're a sucker for it, and especially me, it keeps dragging me back in. I swear, after this season, if there's nothing that like piques my interest, I'm out. I can't do it. I can't keep playing Fortnite. I specifically got Games Pass last week or something, because I was like, I can't keep playing Fortnite in the mornings. I need another game to play. But just keeps roping me back in. I'm just
it will, and I think they'll continue to do so.
Yeah, I reckon they will.
They've done so well at it. I mean, I think it's going to be around for a long time, and it's still one of the most watched games on Twitch. It's still one of the most viewed kind of videos on YouTube. And I think because of all of the different elements they're adding in, and kind of the idea that they are moving towards almost a multiverse feel kind of zone and space, I mean, I think it's going to be around for a long time. But like I said, if there is anything you feel like we've missed, we may have already covered it in our Battle Royale episode, so please go and take a look at that. It was one of the first ones we did. Listen to some more bits, because I think we gave Fortnite a bit of its own section in there.
Yeah, we did.
We thought, because of how big of a game it is and how much we did play it over a period of time, it was worthy of its own game focus episode. So I hope you enjoyed. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your drink? How was your espresso martini? Not too strong, I hope.
Well, it's gone. So, it was great. I'm a big sucker for espresso martinis. Whenever I go out, that's kind of like my go-to cocktail. So yeah, it's quite nice. I was lagging a bit during the day, so I was like, I need a little bit of a caffeine boost. So yeah, big fan. How was your Glenfiddich?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It wasn't too heavy. It wasn't too peaty, but it also wasn't too sweet. I thought it was quite a good middle ground.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just read you a little kind of extract from the box as well. This pioneer of single malt category is matured in the finest Oslo sherry and bourbon casks, and uniquely married in oak turns for a beautiful balanced nose and a refreshingly complex flavour.
Gorgeous.
I mean, yeah, it was really good. I quite liked it. So yeah, take a look at the bottle there. It's a smaller one. Usually go for the 75 1 litres, but this one's a
I've actually
35 centilitre.
I've got the exact same bottle in my drinks cabinet.
It was good. It was really good. Wouldn't say it's my favourite, but definitely get it again, 100%.
Nice.
So I can't recommend that one enough. So yeah, I mean, as you probably noticed, we finally managed to get back on our Instagram after a few bits and pieces of tech troubles. So we'll be back posting on there. Feel free to let us know what you think about the episodes and stuff in the comments section. Interact with some of the stories we put up. That would be fab. We always love hearing how you feel about the games or anything we talked about, including the drinks. We have heard a few of you buying new stuff again. It's great to hear some of our avid listeners talking about the different kind of whiskies or some of the stuff we suggested for them. It's great. A new feature as well that we're implementing for those that do listen on Spotify, and I know at least 75% of you do from some of the stats I've been looking at recently. They have added a new function that allows us to put out a question to you at the end of each episode. So please take a look whilst you listen, be it at the beginning or towards the end. The question might be related to the episode, it might be related to something else. It's completely up to you whether you want to answer it or not. It's good because we can see it. We can also pin some of your questions and answers to the top of the podcast. So as people listen to it, they'll be able to see your posts. So we will be picking out our favourite ones each week. This week, as we're coming up to the end of the year, and we are planning some future episodes for the best of 2021, we'd like to hear about your favourite video games of this year. So we'll be putting that question out on Spotify. So for anybody listening at the end of this episode, please take a look. Let us know. We'll be sure to give some feedback on it, and maybe, who knows, it might include them on that best of 2021 episodes coming in December. So yeah, a little bit to look out for.
I think that's a good idea. We'll go through a couple of those. Yeah, depends how good the answers are.
And you know what? We might not have heard of them, so we might give them a go as well.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, throw them out there. We're more than happy to listen and give them a shout and make sure they get a little call out in the episode. Also, for those that have been able to see us for the first time, please let us know what you think on YouTube. That would be fab. We are going to put it out there. We know it attracts a new version of audience. We know some of you have YouTube Premium where you can lock it with your screen. That's perfectly fine. Use the comment section there as well. We love to hear it. Give us a like and a subscribe. That would be fab. God, jumping on that YouTube hype.
I know, it's weird, isn't it? We haven't had to do this before. It's like, comment, subscribe. God.
It's right, half of them are left already. I usually turn off as we start talking about the drinks. But yeah, anyway, we'll leave it there. I've been Sam.
And I've been David.
Take it easy because you're now on our level.